What's up guys? So today's video is another tarot card video. We are still looking at Major Arcana and we are officially getting numbered today with the Magician. This is what the card looks like in the Mystic Mondays set that I have. The image is usually a lot different and we will get into that. The website that I'm using will be linked below. I do also have a Wikipedia page open, but that's for a specific thing that's right at the top here. So I don't really need it to be linked. But the Magician card is numbered number 1, as I said, and which is the number of new beginnings and opportunities, and it associates with the planet of Mercury, which, if you remember from astrology, is the ruling planet of Gemini and exalted in Virgo and Aquarius. In classical Roman mythology, Mercury is the messenger of the gods, noted for his speed and swiftness. Echoing this, the scorching airless world Mercury circles the sun on the fastest orbit of any planet, because it's got the smallest orbit of any planet. Mercury takes only 88 days to orbit the sun, spinning at 7.3 days in each sign of the zodiac. Mercury is so close to the sun that only a brief period exists after the sun has set, where it can be seen with the naked eye before following the sun beyond the horizon. Astrologically speaking, it represents the principles of communication, mentality, thinking patterns, rationality and reasoning, and adaptability and variability, which would all obviously be traits then associated to the Magician because it associates with Mercury. It governs schooling and education, the immediate environment of neighbours, siblings and cousins, transport over short distances, messages and forms of communication such as post, email and telephone, newspapers, journalism and writing, information gathering skills and physical dexterity. The 1st century poet Marcus Manilius described Mercury as an inconstant, vivacious and curious planet. In medicine, it's associated with the nervous system, the brain, the respiratory system, the thyroid, and the sense organs, which all sort of go to show, or at least very heavily imply, what the element that we're dealing with here is out of the 4 elements. I think my thing will tell us that in a second. If you want to try and guess before then, though, we'll see if you were right. Mercury is traditionally held to be essentially cold and dry according to its placement in the zodiac and in aspect to the other planets. In modern astrology, Mercury is regarded as the ruler of the 3rd house. Traditionally it had joy in the 11th house, and again, I'm not hugely familiar with the houses, but I do know that what was it we talked about last time? It was the 2nd house, I think. So that means that whatever, this is actually really good. The fact that Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini. Gemini is the star sign that starts this month. So we'll be able to talk all about the 3rd house and Gemini and stuff later this month. So if you want to find out what all of that means, make sure to hit the notification bell for sure. Mercury is the messenger of the gods in mythology. It is the planet of day-to-day expression and relationships. Mercury's action is to take things apart and put them back together again. It's an opportunistic planet, decidedly unemotional and curious. It rules over Wednesday. In Romance languages, the word for Wednesday is similar to Mercury. In Italian, for instance, it's Mercoledì. And Dante Alighieri associated Mercury with the liberal art of dialectic. In Chinese astrology, it represents water, the 4th element, therefore symbolizing communication, intelligence, and elegance. But we're looking at the 4 classical elements, which I'm going to have a quick read ahead. I hope it will tell us. One way or the other, it's heavily implying that the element of air is the Magician's strongest one. In regular decks, like the Rider-Waite deck, the Magician stands with one arm stretched towards the universe, the other pointing down, his positioning representing his connection between both the spiritual and the material realms. The magician uses this relationship to create and manifest his goals into the physical realm. He is the conduit that converts energy into matter, and sort of vice versa, because all matter has energy, if we want to be scientific here. His robes are generally white, which they are not, nor is there a hand pointing up, symbolizing his purity. His cloak red, we've got the red hair, I guess, representing worldly experience and knowledge. On the table in front of him, there is no table in front of this particular magician, are the 4 symbols of the tarot suits: a cup, a coin, a sword, and a wand. The coins generally called pentacles, so that you can sort of letter them as C, P, S, and W, and therefore have 4 letters. Aside from the swords, all the others have at some point had a word starting with the letter C. So we've had cups, coins, and clubs for wands. But obviously being able to letter them all differently helps when you're doing sort of shorthand of what you got in your spread, if you want to go and look it up later or whatever. So each of those symbolizes one of the 4 elements as well. The cup for water, the pentacle for earth, the sword for air, and the wand for fire. It's also a sign that the magician has all of the tools and therefore all of the elements that he needs or she needs to manifest his intentions into being. Above his head is the infinity symbol, which in this one is used as a hair clip. Fun times. But it's still there, so we can't say it's not. Where was I up to? Above his head is the infinity symbol, and around his waist is a snake biting its own tail, which is generally known as an Ouroboros. Both of which signal that he has access to unlimited potential. And in the foreground is an array of foliage and flowers, symbolizing the blossoming and fruition of his ideas and aspirations. Now, as you can see here, there's no table, there's no flowers, there's no arm pointing up, his robes are not white. This is a very artistic deck, and its whole thing was that it celebrates colour. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't keep all of the symbolism still in the cards. Anyway, I'm sure there would have been a way to do half what they've done there and still keep the positioning and everything else that they needed. So yeah, so as I've shown you multiple times, you now know what the card that I have looks like. So we're going to open up my little book here, and as I mentioned in the full one, you can have the card presented to you upright or reversed. It doesn't necessarily mean that one is, I mean, one's going to be a good news and one's going to be a bad news sort of thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that one's going to have a negative connotation. They'll both sort of be like, you know, it'll either be saying, these are your strengths right now, so stick to them, or these are your weaknesses right now, you need to work on these. It's not going to be like, you know, you can do this or you can't. They can both come to have a positive outcome, is what I'm trying to get at. So, reading word for word from this, the upright. Now there are words that each one sort of boils down to, and for Mercury, so for the magician, it does say that it's associated with Mercury, just there. But the words here we've got are inventive, manifestation, and true potential, which we've all just talked about. So this is for the upright. So it says, you've got the spark. Creation is the name of the game. Whether you pour your energy into a new life cycle or creative project, this is a time of pulling all your resources to manifest your desires. Your toolbox is complete with anything you could ever need, and if it isn't, the right tools will appear exactly when you need them. You are resourceful and constantly find innovative solutions to problems with grace and ease. The universe has your back and will provide you with the power to manifest your desires in the external world. Infinite opportunities are available as you continue to flow. Be clear about your intentions and use them to fuel purposeful action. The more specific you are, the more you magnetize your creative energy and manifestation magic. Claim your power. And for the reversed, we've got trickery, manipulation, and untapped potential. So obviously, like I said, this is going to tell you that you have an untapped potential rather than you're already realizing your true potential. So it reads, reversed, the magician can indicate frustration and lack of clarity. You may feel that you have so much more to give, but that your talents are not being seen, valued, or appreciated. This would be a good time to ask, what is blocking me and what can I do to change my current circumstances? They are hindering you from expressing the full range of your skill sets and keeping you locked up in a box when all you want to do is be free and flourish. Beware of people and situations that do not have your best interests at heart. Your vulnerability makes you a prime target for manipulation and may be unintentionally attracting some shady folk. Use your resources to get yourself out of trouble, protect yourself and don't fall into their traps, or be tripped up by your own. So yeah, I think that's everything. The site that I used does have a different reading, a more lengthy reading for what each the upright and the reversed means. So I will leave that linked below. It's also where I got the description for it from, and there is also an image of what the card generally looks like. So I will leave that linked below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to hit the subscription button and the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload new ones. And yeah, until next time guys, keep it screwed on.